I once took a funeral for a woman whose name was Lark. An exceptionally beautiful soul, she had been a devotee of Sai Baba, and her life was conditioned by the spiritual principles she believed. Sitting with her family as we talked through what would be appropriate for the ceremony of blessing upon her onward journey from this life, I listened to them describe how she had lived and who she was. One of her daughters said that in making choices and deciding which way to go, Lark thought we should always look for the path the light shines on. I never forgot that, and it has stood me in good stead. Light. What is it like? What is its nature? What are its properties? Well, an obvious one is that you can see through it as well as seeing by it. Light isn't thick or lumpy like porridge or bread. It's like lemon juice or a precious gem. It's transparent and it illuminates and reveals. What does that mean for the choices we make and the discipline we practice? In our private lives, walking in the light means honesty and authenticity. Grace will be unpacking that for us tomorrow morning, what it might mean to be our authentic selves. Looking for the path the light shines on in our everyday lives also implies paying attention, living simply and quietly so we are not plagued by confusion and distraction. We are then free to bring our full attention to whatever needs our help or participation or contribution in the present moment. Then we will arrive with heart and mind prepared at the now reality of what life is asking of us today. Our calling requires us to refrain from entanglement and overcommitment, to give ourselves breathing room and space. Otherwise we'll find ourselves making mistakes and grabbing the first thing that comes to hand, choosing what is expedient instead of what will create hope and health for our body and soul and other people's too, or being carried along by the tide. Not everything in our lives is purely personal and private, though. There is always a relational community dimension which then widens out into the public sphere. We have a contribution to make, and this is a responsibility we cannot evade. How is it expressed? It's there in our personal relationships. In my own life, I've been a preacher and a writer and a pastor and a chaplain, but I've noticed that the people I have most influenced are those who have lived with me. I've seen our path drawn into accord and commonality. My second husband, Bernard, was very angry with the church when we got married. He thought religion was a power game. It is, of course, but there's more to it than that, and during the brief time we were together before he died, he came to understand how the cross sits at the heart of creation, holding all things together, the starting point of the new and living way. He made his peace with Jesus, and in the last weeks and days of his life, he was able to plug in to the light and strength of Jesus. It sustained him and carried him home. That was better than dying angry and defeated. In our personal relationships, it is wise to choose as friends those who enable others to shine. Someone who radiates light, not someone who absorbs it for their own aggrandizement. Someone who lights up the room for everyone, not someone who insists on hogging the spotlight. Humility, encouragement, generosity, responsibility. That's what we're looking for, the path the light shines on. The light we shine is also expressed in our consumer choices, and in this time of urgent ecological threat, it's important that we stand firm in accepting this responsibility. Living simply is critical here because we're dealing with the minutiae. What shop we buy from, what food we pick, which fabrics we choose for our clothes, how we heat our homes, what transport we decide on. Oh my Lord, there is so much to consider, and all of it matters. Living simply gives us space to think it over and inquire. Again, we look for the path the light shines on, pick out the thread the light shines on, and take that way. We take the trouble to ask questions, and we flow with the answers that remind us of the life of Jesus. In the political sphere, as voters, we also have choices to make. Anyone who says politics has nothing to do with religion is talking through the back of their neck. Politics is how we express our organisation as community. There is no more obvious way of loving our neighbour as ourselves. Party politics is not so much the issue here as the presence of light. There are different methods and systems for running a country. Some of them are better than others, but most of them are beneficial and effective in the right hands. In our political affiliation, the thing to attract us should be not so much the traditions we trust because they're familiar, voting the way Dad voted, as the life the light shines from and the path the light shines on. We should be looking for the soul, the life that reminds us of Jesus. We should familiarize ourselves with the New Testament and look for a good match. As political voters, we can look out for honesty and transparency in a politician's life and conduct. Look for consistency. Do they practice what they advocate? We can look at how they treat others. Light reveals and illumines. It doesn't conceal or suppress. If we see subterfuge and deceit, our vote should never be cast there. Nor should we cast our vote where we see greed or exceptionalism or hubris or frivolity. We are looking for the serious and sober life, for something that will bear the searching of light. My burden is light, said Jesus, and we are looking for the life that is carrying the light, like his. There's also artificial light, and we have to be wary of that. There are the floodlights and footlights created by marketing and promotion, the sort you can buy with money to make a showman look good. We have a responsibility to note the use of that kind of illumination and set it to one side. It's something people do, but it's not what we're looking for. We are looking for the light that comes into the world to enlighten all humanity, the living light that shines from the way of Jesus and can shine as a lantern in our hearts, enabling both ourselves and our fellow travellers to see which way to go. At this season of Candlemas, when light strengthens and illumines the house, finding every nook and cranny and showing up what's there for what it really is, may you be rinsed and lit up. May you receive the light and glow. May you be blessed with clarity and insight. May you put your finger on truth. May you find the path the light shines on for you.